Hello and welcome back to my channel, where today, it is December 11th. We're getting towards the end of the year, nearly the middle of December, if I'm honest here. So, I have some pretty big reading goals for the month to help me finish the year strong, but I think I'll be able to make it. I think so. I have a huge stack of books next to me that I want to get read before the end of the year, but I think if I read like a little bit every day, I should be able to make it happen. And I have to say, audiobooks have been absolutely amazing too. They're great for when I'm like working on a creative project, like a diamond art painting, or I'm, trying to get my 2024 bullet journal setup done so that I can get into January, or like making dinner or something like that. It's nice to listen to, whatever book I'm reading at the time. So, first on the list, I didn't even put these in the right order. How terrible of me. So the first one on the list is actually going to be A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I read the first book in this series last month, and I learned a lot about like world building and how to describe things better, as though they were like a super important part of the story. Like you couldn't move on with the story without them. The first book was really slow. I'm really hoping this one won't be, though. I'm hoping it kind of picks up. The first one I picked up towards, like, I'd say, like, the last quarter of the book, the last third of the book, maybe. They are very long books, too. This one is, like, 800 and something. I'm sorry, 600 and something pages. Yeah, 626 pages. So, we shall see. I have an audiobook to this one, too, so if I'm busy doing something, I can definitely listen to this one as I'm working on things. And then the next one, I didn't even know existed. It looks like it's been around for a while, but I didn't even know this existed. But as soon as I saw it, I said, yeah, that's going home with me. This one is called It's a Pleasure to Burn by Ray Bradbury. There's short stories written in the Fahrenheit 451 universe, which if anyone knows anything about me, Fahrenheit 451 is my favorite book in the whole wide world. This one came out in 2010, it looks like. So, I have gone a great while without knowing this one existed. So, I'm definitely going to give this one a read, because I love Fahrenheit 451, and this book is in that universe, so I want to. Because the story itself isn't very long. It's like 150 pages. It's less than 200. I know that. And it's just such a good book. It's such a good book. I have the 60th anniversary edition too, and I'll probably be rereading that at the beginning of next year. The next one is a book I read last year. It's called Elder Race, by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I have no idea. So this one, I read it earlier last year, and I really loved the story, and as you can see, it's not that long. But man, there is so much detail in this story for being 198 pages long. It is just packed with detail. There's so much going on. I wish there was another book to this, but I will just reread this one instead, because it is such a gosh darn good book. The next one is a book that I've had on my TBR for a very long time, honestly. It has been on my TBR because I thought the cover looked pretty, and that's why I bought it. I was at the bookstore, like, I don't know, a year or two ago, and I don't know. Oh, there you go, you can kind of see it. Yeah, it's metallic here in the middle. And the cover feels velvety, too. It's very nice. This is To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini, the same person who wrote the Aragon series. Not disappointing with long books. This one's like 800 and something pages, I think. Yeah, it's like 800 and something pages with a really long appendix at the end. So, I love space. And a book about space and space travel and stuff like that I think is really great. And I do have the audiobook to this one as well, because it is so long. I think listening to it while I'm working on other things is going to be really helpful. I was actually listening to it last night, and it's got my husband told me, because we love the Mass Effect series. He told me the same voice actor that plays the female Shepard in the Mass Effect series, she narrates this book as well. And the intro music to the audiobook literally sounded the same as Mass Effect, and I was like, I wonder. So that's going to be really fun to continue reading and hopefully finish it. I do have a lot of books already, and there's still more to go. The next one is going to be, this one's a good one too. This one is from, I got this one from a Scribbler box a few months ago. It's called The Museum of Magic by Beth Revis, I'm not sure, but this book is really interesting because the way that the author wrote it, I didn't read the little intro part until way later, but the way she wrote it was every week she would leave it up to chance what each chapter was going to be, and she'd have like patrons help and stuff like that, and it was really cool. And apparently she's going to be making a second one, so I'll have to look into that because that sounds really cool. This one came out, this came out in 2022, so this book is still fairly new. And I did read the first few chapters after I got it, and I've made like little notes here and there on it, on sticky notes, and it is just a decent book. Like, every chapter leaves it like hanging, so you're like, I have to read the next chapter. This is like the kind of book you would stay up all night reading, if I could. I don't. I sleep so early these days. But this one I definitely want to finish because it's like 300 pages. I could probably make it happen, honestly. I could probably make it happen. So, that's another book on my list. Look at this stat getting so big over here. The next one on the list isn't too terribly long either. Oh, and it's part of a trilogy. I thought it was part of a series, but it's just a trilogy. This one is 400 pages exactly. So this book is called Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I don't really know anything about this book. I just have heard that people like this book, and it's a good book, and there's a YouTuber I watch, and she liked it a lot. And I think she read the rest of the series, too. I'm not sure. Or trilogy, whatever. Still a series, technically. This one says, his wife taken, his people enslaved. Driven by a longing for justice and the memory of lost love, Darrow will stop at nothing to bring down his enemies, even if he must become one of them to do so. For the first time, Red will rise. Interesting. Yeah, no, I've just heard overall that this book is really good, so I picked this one up at the library because it doesn't look too terribly long. How long did I say it was? 400 pages? Longer than I thought it was, but we add it to the stack. And then the next book is this one. I have been waiting a really long time for the library to get this copy because I've read the other two Lore Olympuses, and they're kind of long, but they're comics. Like, it's comics, so it's not going to take me that long to read it. Maybe 2 days if I, really take my time. So this one is the third volume of Lore Olympus, and let me just look at this art style. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. Even the inside cover looks really nice. But this book is the third in the series. I think there's a fourth one out actually right now, but our library doesn't have it yet, so I just got the third one, and I definitely want to read this because I love Greek mythology, and while it doesn't exactly follow it because it's more of a romance thing or whatever, but I still love this series. I think they're great. I think to me, it's easier to read them in, like, physical format rather than on my phone on Webtoon, because you can read them on Webtoon, but I think it's nicer to have, like, a copy in my hands to read. I think it's just way nicer that way. Someday I think I'm gonna actually get copies of this, but we shall see. And then the last book I want to read before the end of the year, but it's probably not going to happen, but I really hope it does happen, is, I want to read, I don't have the cover on it, sorry, I took it off because I've been reading it off and on all year. The top is getting a little dirty. I want to read Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. Mayer, I don't know. but I read it once when it came out a couple years ago, and I had an audiobook help me get to the end of the book, because look at how long this book is. This book is, how many pages is it? 658, I guess. I don't think there's anything on that page. Yeah, 658. It's a very long book, very crazy to read. But this one, I wanted to reread it and annotate it as I read. So I have I read maybe, I don't even know how many pages. Not enough. Not nearly enough pages. I've read 44 pages, it looks like. But I have notes and stuff, so it's just taking me a really long time to read it. So, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it a second time, but I'm going to try. And this is only on the list because I want to get it read before next year so I can get a fresh start. Maybe I can get a whole lot of reading done sometime soon, since I'm not really doing anything right now. And then the tabs on here, these are all the chapters. That's why they go down like that. These ones over here, these dark red ones, which are probably going to have to change color soon because I don't have enough dark red ones, are words I don't know that I want to learn what they mean, and there are so many of them. So, I definitely need to learn more words in my vocabulary. And it looks thicker too because I have, I think at the end of each chapter I'm writing oh, I didn't write anything there. Oopsie. Oh, because I'm not there yet. Let's see. Yeah, so I have notes of, let's see, this one is, the chapter summary is the big one, and then my thoughts is the little one, and I do that at the end of each chapter to kind of, I don't know, maybe I'll make a review about it when I'm done, or kind of talk about it a little bit or something, but, yeah, this book I also want to read, so we'll add it to the stack. The stack is so big. Oh my gosh, guys, look at this stack of books. So these are all the books I want to read before the end of the year. Am I going to read all these books? I don't know. Maybe. Some of them are books I do own. Some of them are books from the libraries, a little mishmash of both. But those are the books I'm planning to read before the end of the year. I think every day I'm going to need to read a significant amount of pages. But that's a later me problem. That's not a right now problem. So yeah, that's my reading list for the end of the year. Next year I might make monthly lists of what I'm reading and stuff, because I do want to make my reading journal look a little bit nicer and share that with you guys. But as far as that goes, that's my list, and let me know down in the comments what some of your favorite books are. Maybe I'll add them to my list next year, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.